We've got Johnny here from the mighty Bilmuri. Johnny, Kinda Hard is an amazing album, and I think Kinda Hard is a very understated way of how this album opens. What the hell was that?
Well, you know, it's kind of hard, dude. So we had to have a hard aspect to it for it to be kind of hard. I wanted an ass beater, man. So we teamed up with Drew Folk and came up with this, and we very much had a lot of fun murdering the mix and making it sound as bad as we possibly could.
It is punishingly heavy. At first I thought I got the wrong record sent to me, because I'm like scrolling through it. I'm like, this is it, right? And then Twice came on. I'm like, huh, that was kind of hard. So let's talk about the writing process on this, because the couple of songs that we've gotten out, you worked with some pretty big name collaborators like Jeremy McKinnon of A Day to Remember, Noah Sebastian of Bad Omens, and Cody Quisted of Wage War. Who else did you work with? Was it just you four, or how did this album really come together?
I mean, this album is very much a collaborative work. We wrote this record while I was kind of jumping in and out of tour, so it was very difficult to write because it was, we'd start to get some momentum on it and then be like, oh well, I've got to go play this festival or we've got to go do this tour, and um, it was very much a learning process for me to learn how to like switch gears between those two things. But we had I basically got to write with all of my songwriting heroes on this record. And it's incredible when you get with someone who's, a true talent, and how easy the process is and how much they help things and help you find your voice and find what you want to say in a way that's meaningful and impactful. So I would say I had like more fun writing this record than I have for any other record, because it was very much like a social experience and very enjoyable.
What's an example of one of the people that was in the room that pulled something out of you or helped you find a way that you yourself didn't know you had?
Yeah, I would say Sasha Sloan was one. I've just been a huge fan of hers for a long time. So being in the room with her was really incredible. And she was able to help me with Back Then. And I feel like that song has a cool, different vibe to it. And I feel like Sasha Sloan, very much to her credit, helped kind of pull that vibe out of Bill Murray. And then also Jeremy McKinnon and Cody Quistad were in that room. So it was like Day to Remember, super heavy Wage War, and then Sasha Sloan, who's like very much singer songwriter pop, and it was such a cool mix. We all knew going into that, right, that it was going to be sweet because of how talented everybody was.
It is really cool to see with the record, the the like the softer songs still have like a really crunchy guitar that really like kind of not bring it down in like a mood wise, but like gives you that like kind of face.
Yeah, man, I'm a rock guy through and through. So even though the songs like sometimes vocally can get more poppy, I'm like I always want to ground it in rock guitars because that's my heart and soul, and that's what I love. I've loved it since I was 12 years old, and I love it just as much now that I'm 35, man. So
Yeah, it's evident that you did have a lot of fun with this. Like it's an album that takes you on a journey, and we've had the three singles that came out that all, well, I think More Than Hate was something that really turned a lot of people onto the band, and in like a more commercial sense. But one thing that I think is so cool is how you bring in the saxophone, and that's Gabby, right? That's
mhm.
doing the saxophone. What an amazing element into music, into rock that just like transforms a song in a way that's like really hard to describe.
Yeah, I mean, we've been putting saxophone in our songs for a long time, and I always call it the cheat code because it just sounds, it's immediately cool. It makes you sound different, and the instrument's so good. And then also having Gabby, who genuinely is one of the best on the planet right now, to play it, like it's a joy. And I think it's that extra kind of Bill Murray sauce that makes it, just adds an extra layer to the sound that's very cool. And yeah, I mean, dude, it was Gabby is so talented on Twice. That solo that she did, it was her first take.
Oh,
Like,
really?
yeah, she was just completely playing that on the fly. Like, and I looked at her afterwards and we tried to beat it. And I was like, I don't think we're beating that, dude. I think that's the one. So it just goes to show how talented she is.
It's really it's awesome. I love to see it, and the collaboration I think is evident throughout the entire album. Tell me a little bit about you writing the lyrics. Are you the lone lyricist on the songs, or do you like come in with an idea and then just throw some of the stuff at the other guys?
I'm very much under the I work under the God, this is a stupid way to say it. Let me try to rephrase that. I work with the ideology of the best idea wins. So whether it's a lyric or, the concept of the song, like once we get in the room with everybody who's working on it that day, it's the best idea. It's the idea that makes us go, ooh. So some days, I'm writing a lot of lyrics to the songs, and then other days I'm not. And other days, like, you know, I'll have like the concept of the song, and then someone helps me flesh that out. But it's just like, however the pie kind of breaks down is for me, I'm not like an ego thing where I have to have all the ideas or anything like that. I'm very much like I want this to be great and I want the best idea to win. And it doesn't matter whose idea it is, it has to be the best idea for the song. And I very much think like the song will tell you what it wants. And when you throw out an idea and everyone, all four people in the room's heads snap over and look at you and think, wow, like that made me feel something. That's what you have to be doing when you're in the writing room.
What of the lyrics do you think is one thing that you're the most proud to have written down or to have sung, I suppose?
I love Rock Bottom Ain't Deep Enough. To me, I'm like, that was something where we were with Jeff Warburton and he threw that out and everyone was like, ooh,
Hmm.
immediately. Yes. Like, dude, I've felt that many times, that kind of like, screw it. We're going down into the depths today. And yeah, so that was a line where it's resonated like. And then as one that I specifically wrote, I think that hits home for me is Heartbreak Hits and Waves. And that song was always very much a song we wanted to sound like a relationship, but it's very much about losing a friend. And I lost a friend to ALS last year. And so for me to have a song that's, just a tribute to a friend that I dearly loved and you know, had the concept for of Heartbreak Hits and Waves, where you get the news and it doesn't necessarily hit you, and then a week later it hits you, and then a month later it hits you, and then you're at the funeral and it hits you, and like I still listen to that song and really feel strongly about it, and really feel like a good tribute to my friend, and something that was very much me leading the charge on that.
I think that's an incredible thing. Grief has been a big part of my life. I've lost way too many people, and when I hear musicians write about it, it's always like, yeah, that's how I feel, you know. And the now hearing you explain like the waves thing, I don't know if I've been able to put how like losing someone truly felt more than just like the waves of like, and just like you said, that's incredible. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's something I experienced where, it doesn't all just hit at once. It kind of like hits you, then recedes, and hits you again. And I'm really proud of that song. So
And you should be. Well done. This album is just a really a testament to a creative energy that is it's truly like a singularity. Just it's building and taking everything in with it. Because they're like we take the elements of the country core, the metal core, the pop, like everything is in this, and it just makes the music so refreshing to listen to. Um, and what else is very refreshing is the visual side of things, like with your videos and like just you on social media. You're like you taking a video of yourself being like, "Hey, we're gonna be in Cleveland on this day. Do I have 7 Murray fans that want to come out and like do a video with me?" And that's what I and like you're just pulling people in. It's very old school punk DIY stuff.
well, and that was like a lot of the conversation that we had when we decided to sign with Columbia was like it's always gotta we've got to keep that like DIY mentality about it. And like, you know, yeah, we can kind of fund our DIY ideas a lot more, but it's very much based on the community. It's like the video for Hard to Tell was the drifting community coming through for us huge. And we had 7 days from the idea of the music video to actually shooting it. And like we had 30 amazing drift cars there, and like it was such a special day. And then also like the night armor thing, that was very much a community thing as well, where we threw it out like, does anyone have night armor? And like the AMMA community, the armored MMA, I don't know if you've looked into that, but you definitely should, came through big for us there. So that's always something that is like in the DNA of Bilmuri. And I wish I could say it was like a marketing tactic, but a lot of the times it's pure desperation because we don't know what to do.
Well, it's like when you said that thing about the armor, my Facebook Marketplace, the algorithm for that drastically changed because it was just like, I wonder who is selling a suit of armor around here. It's the best social media website.
Yeah.
Uh, but Johnny, you're going out on tour. We're going to see you in Madison on May 2nd. For those that have never seen you play live, what can we expect out of a live show for Bill Murray?
Yeah, I mean, always our goal is like we're not there to look cool. We're there to make like the most fun, enjoyable, like listening experience that you possibly can have, and visual as well. And this tour has been really cool because last year, the entire year we had 1 day of rehearsal, and then it was like, all right, go. And this year, like I'm able to finally like achieve my true full creative vision for what I think a Bill Murray live set should be. And I'm beyond excited to share it with everybody.
That's exciting and tantalizing, and I should ask what that is, but I'm more excited to see it in person. Dude, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. Kind of hard, freaking rocks, and yeah, well done.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you.